Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. Solid dip to start the morning, solid dip buying into the afternoon, but a little bit of weakness in the tech sector into the end of the day. We'll see if that's enough to set our daily lower high on QQQ, and another beautiful pattern just like the one I showed you yesterday, but completely inverse. We'll take a look at it in just a moment.
Introducing the Chart Guy's Swing Report, a weekly digital publication that uses technical analysis to identify long-term market opportunities. Understand the market from a swing trade perspective. Follow institutional money as it rotates from sector to sector, and make the most of the Swing Report's weekly trade opportunities, with key entry and exit levels provided. Performance is tracked and updated weekly. For more information, visit us at chartguys.com. Now, let's check out some charts.
So looking at SPY, we started the morning with a dip, and there was actually a point in the morning where all of our major sectors were fairly weak, but that did not last long. SPY right now, anything above 2, make that 351.26 is a daily high or low. Could this be a little daily bull flag? Yes, absolutely, it could be. And there are no red flags whatsoever as far as the S&P 500 is concerned. IWM, all-time high, and an all-time high close. Bulls in absolute complete control here as well. New daily high or low, we can use 174.28 as a short-term nearby level. And we have no resistance, so we're looking up towards 180 psychological from here. QQQ, again, I've been watching for this daily lower high for a couple days now, and I was definitely actively shorting it today, and I did swing half of my position short because of the end of the day. And when you see this kind of resistance level, if every day was like this, it'd be a gift, where it's just get to the high of the day, short it, and top fish it. So high of yesterday was 293.51, broke it by 21 cents, and then we dumped $2. V-shaped recovery right back to that level, rejected by 12 cents, dump $1.50 plus. Significant recovery back to the high of the day, double top by 3 pennies, solid dollar pullback, failed to break the high of the day by 18 cents, dump to the low of the day, down $3, make that $2, and I shorted it. Where? Shorted it here. Top fishing. And honestly, I typed in the chat room, why not? That's why I'm taking this short. Very small risk, very clear resistance. It's a why not trade. So took it, exited half on the pullback, knowing that this was just going to be a 15-minute high or low, and then swung it into the end of the day. My break even, because I sold half in profit, is over 294, so I don't have a ton of risk overnight. Even if we, gap up open, it would just be a small loss. So keeping that swing position small. Bears have to break the low of today tomorrow at 291.61 for us to say, yep, that's our daily lower high, and we then scout a daily high or low compared to 280.62. Financial sector, just looking for a daily high or low to form. Gap to fill was 27.14. It filled by a penny. That marked the low. These daily periods of consolidation, this was first hourly oversold. We hit RSI of about 31, and bulls took over. Gap fill, and bulls took over. So keeping very strong on these daily charts. There are no red flags in the financial sector, and resistance is 27.73 to try and keep this move going. Healthcare is showing more weakness than most. If we break 109.98, we do lose the daily uptrend. And none of our major sectors are close to losing their daily uptrend. So that would stand out if it were to take place. So I am watching that 109.98 level closely. Best case for the bulls would be to hold it and break 113.19 to regain complete control. We know if XLV breaks bearish and nobody else is breaking bearish, it's not going to be enough to throw off the S&P 500. Again, cannot reiterate enough what you need for the S&P 500 to see any real weakness, high bear volume, and all of our sectors, or at least 2 of them, showing significant weakness. And in the absence of that, we know that the dip is likely to be bought. Biotech sector, dip first thing, V-shaped recovery, and closed right at the all-time high. It's a double top by a penny, but obviously still strong there. Semiconductor, daily inside bar. If this inside bar breaks bearish tomorrow, that's a daily lower high as well. Again, very similar to QQQ still, but stronger. And we've been saying that for 2 months at this point. If the inside bar breaks bearish, we look for a daily higher low compared to 188.37. Solar sector, multiple daily inside bars broke bullish. Bulls have to get over 76.13 to keep these daily higher lows going and to be looking back at the recent top of 80.86. And the VIX, still very weak, still not doing much. Bulls are trying to build a base at 22.40 and 22.30, but obviously we're not seeing much upside at all. So it's staying weak, and the markets are staying strong. So what do I need to see for any notable weakness? I would need to see QQQ lose to 80.62 support from here, which means we have 4% of space to work with before we get to that level. I need XLV to break 109.98, and I would need XLF to break the low of today. If all of that happens, things will change. If that does not happen, bulls are keeping control for now. The dollar trying to set that daily higher low compared to 92.13, still unable to do so. No convincing bounces, no convincing 4-hour trend change, and have to show up tomorrow. Otherwise, we risk dropping to a lower low. Gold is seeing some weakness, so daily top of the bounce is looking potentially set. The bulls would have to hold 1850 if this daily inside bar breaks bearish, have to hold 1850 and break 1900 if we're going to see momentum back to the bulls on the daily time frame. This is just a bounce, an oversold, not even oversold, but this is just a bounce at this point, and it's not proving a whole lot for the bulls. And silver's the same thing. Currently an inside bar forming. If it breaks bearish tomorrow, have to see the bulls ideally hold 23.78 to try and keep these little higher lows going. And miners, right down at the low, 36.73. If that level breaks, the daily downtrend continues. Oil, daily inside bar today. If it breaks bearish, it's all about $40 support. If it breaks bullish, we're looking at our recent high of 43.06. Natural gas trying to bounce, 4-hour time frame. We had a bear flag confirmed with no follow-through. We've seen this in the past, where a bear flag with no follow-through leads to a bounce. It happened right here. Bear flag confirmed, straight into a bounce. Ended up with a nice 3.5% bounce in response to that. And we'll see if the bulls can get over 2641 resistance to see something similar this time around. Keeping in mind that we're just going to look for a daily lower high, anything under 2942 next time we do bounce. And Bitcoin bulls showing off with a significant move of follow-through. This daily uptrend is in beast mode, and we are currently about 12% or so from the all-time high. And you better believe if we get a new all-time high, you're going to be hearing about Bitcoin a lot more than you already do. But that is showing us risk on. USMJ sector earnings reporting great numbers, holding on very strong. Very high risk sectors are still seeing a lot of strength in crypto and the USMJ space. So that is a clue for me that I use. And I'm not making any significant decisions based off of that, but I'm looking over at those sectors and saying, okay, bulls are still confident, bulls are still in control, and that definitely is a sentiment guide for me in the short term as the S&P 500 and everything remains strong. So keeping an eye out for weakness, but nothing notable right now, and sticking with the trend as long as that is the case. So let's break down, let's go through my morning. So did the live stream, saw a nice bounce on Tesla that I wanted first thing, but again, when I'm doing the live stream and answering questions, it's definitely a bit more difficult for me. But the first trade for Tesla that I wanted, first 5-minute oversold conditions after the first 5-minute candle, and the low of pre-market was 451. And we hit 450.75 in 5-minute oversold conditions. We double bottomed at that level, and we then bounced $12. So a 2.5% bounce. It wouldn't have been a huge win, but it would have been a win. But didn't get that. It was too quick. Aside from that, I then went to Amazon. I said, all right, we're looking for an Amazon hourly higher low to form. It had a gap up on bullish news of joining the pharmacy space and was looking for the hourly higher low to be set. On this bounce, we had a double bottom at the low of the day. Trying to see exactly where that was. I believe it was right here. So it was low of the day, high of the bounce. I believe I entered... No, it wasn't there. It was near the 331. It was probably down here. We probably didn't get much bounce off of that. So low, high of the bounce, entered looking to play off of 3153. Put my stop under 3150, and I did stop out right there. very small loss, quarter of a day loser. So that's how I start my day. 0 for 1, quarter of a day loser. Not feeling in the flow, being pretty picky. Ended last Thursday and Friday trading NIO. I forgot to update that because we didn't do a Friday video, but made a 2-week maker in 2 days, shorting NIO, as I said in the Thursday video that I was looking to do on Friday. And now I'm pumping the brakes because after those big wins, as soon as I have the thought, this is too easy, I instantly have the immediate thought right after that, you're about to get slapped in the face, fool. So Friday, and to start this week, I'm having this thought, this is too easy, these patterns are too clear, and I know that I'm about to see a losing day soon. So I'm pumping the brakes in anticipation of that. So started over 1, wasn't feeling the flow, quarter of a day loser, no biggie, can make that back easily. From there, the next trade was Tesla. And if you watched the video yesterday, we went over QQQ and how yesterday it gave us a 2-minute rising wedge. 2-minute rising wedge into a 5-minute head and shoulders, both confirmed. Tesla did the exact opposite today. 2-minute falling wedge into an inverse 5-minute head and shoulders pattern. I was having deja vu, but it was a beautiful setup, just in terms of being really comfortable with the patterns that were presenting themselves. So I was watching this pullback. I was watching 15-minute RSI oversold, and I was watching a 2-minute falling wedge. So I drew my support line right there. Drew my resistance line right there. And I made an entry off this support. And I sold half of my position pretty darn quickly, being extra protective because I was entering in an area with a lack of support around it. So I think I flipped it for just $1 for my half position. Let's say I entered at 436 and I sold half at 437, anticipating the potential that we could just reject from this level again and then pull back. So my game plan was, all right, sell half, eliminate half of my risk, drop my break even from 436 to 435, and look for an entry. If we do reject from resistance again, look for a 2-minute higher low compared to 433 to re-enter that half position. That was my rough game plan. And then the bulls just saw follow through and I said, okay, done trying to add anything. I've got my half position and that's that. My target was 15-minute EMA resistance. So we break bullish from that 2-minute falling wedge. And the next thing we're watching is the 5-minute inverse head and shoulders. And as soon as that bull break took place, I said, watching for a lower high compared to 440.25 and watching for the inverse head and shoulders. And it played out beautifully. And from there, my target is the 15-minute EMA 12 resistance. And I exited, and my goal was a $10 gain. So 435 on my half position, sold it at 445. Ended up getting a little bit more follow through, but I don't care about that. Not going to nail the bottom, not going to nail the top. And that was a 3/4 of a day maker. So down a quarter day maker. Now I'm up a half day maker. From there, I went over to QQQ. I entered the short that I talked about with all those clear resistances. Entered the short there. And at this point at the end of the day, that was up over a half day maker. And right now after hours, it's a half day maker at the moment. So from a quarter day loser, small loser, a winner that was 3 times that size, and then a winner that was 2 times that size. I went 2 for 3 and ended up with a day and a quarter maker. And that's the way that I like to trade. Nice and easy. 3 trades, picky, timing my spots, ensuring that my losers are smaller than my winners. If I had lost my second trade after my first Amazon trade, I would have been done for the day. Even if it was only another half day loser. If I lose 2 trades in a row, I am done for the day because I don't have my mojo and I don't want to get stuck in a losing streak. I always call the timeout, break the bearish momentum of my account, and get them tomorrow. So I hope you're well. Do good things. Let's see if QQQ Bears can prove something to us into tomorrow. And if they don't, I will exit that short fairly quickly. I'd probably exit break even just above 294. But we'll see what tomorrow pre-market gives us. We'll end it here with a little shout out to the love of my life.